Chantal here, Cognition, episode 6, America, Who Am I? It's the title of a poem I wrote in response to 9/11, and today is 9/11, though I may not post this until technically 9/12. Here's the poem. America, who am I? Do you really see me? Do you know who I am? When years roll on and we do not talk, your moral judgment guides your steady hand to judge me from a shadow you thought you knew back then. I am not your moral fiber. I cannot stand up for your code. I cannot fit into your cutouts, broken or well-formed. I am a piece in every jigsaw puzzle that has a unique mold. I will not be your victim, martyr, or guide. America, my own country, and my own heart strengthen me. I will not hide. I have my own right to my own journey. I have the right to choose how it will unfold. I will not allow a faceless horror to have control. I will not act from fear or vengeance or revenge. I will stand up for my right to be free forever and again. I will respect each individual, for that is who I am. Now, poetry can be for an audience, but often it is personal. In this case, his poem was very personal to me. It has a deep-seated meaning to me, the writer. When I read this poem now, I realize it reflects what is happening now for me and the tragedy impact of 9/11. But you can also see within these words perhaps things that matter to you. When I say I am not your moral fiber, I do not stand up to your code. I'm talking about a code. I'm talking about the code. I'm not talking about the code of a religion, but the code of a culture, the American culture. And I'm talking about, without really saying it, the Puritan moral culture. The Eugene O'Neill actually had a problem with the witch hunt, judgmental side of America. It has layered meanings. And you may find something different in those lines. But for me, that's what it's about. We were attacked by terrorists. But what worried me back then and now was not the terrorists commanding my life, but people within America. I was talking about parents who need to make me follow their path. Groups filled with fear, spreading hate and mistrust and undermining individual rights. And my right to be myself. Somehow, I think subconsciously, I knew that the towers being hit, the Pentagon being hit, the plane in Pennsylvania had a much deeper meaning than just some terrorist group. It was the loss of our innocence. And I see that that fear has led us to a POTUS who breeds hate in a political landscape that feels out of the hands of America. That's why it's important for us to vote, even though part of me doesn't want to. I'm kind of angry at some of the stuff going on politically, and I'm not happy completely with everything that's going on. I'm going to vote, probably, but I'm tired of the far left, and I'm tired of the far right. I'm not happy with either one of you. And I'm also tired of the fact that even the middle, which moderate Democrats I'm a part of, still wants to cling to some old traditions that really should be tossed out the window. I don't want a revolution. I want us to have the solid, rational policies and values that this country was founded on. America is a melting pot, but a small, powerful minority is trying to make it seem that the melting pot is wrong. It is not just the right that worries me, but the extreme left as well. We need to change, but we also cannot expect people to give up all their individual dreams and needs for the greater good. Yes, I said that. We're not a socialist country. We're a country that's founded on the idea that as an individual, I can be myself. I can have a safe space to think the way that I want and believe the way that I want, as long as my values and my beliefs do not hurt somebody else or subject someone else to pain, misery. In other words, there's a legal structure that we live in which we have to respect. America is not made for the contradiction of giving up individual rights so that everyone has the same thing. Because those individual rights are the core of what makes America great. Someone can be Catholic, Protestant, or not believe in God at all. I was talking in this poem in a subliminal way of my parents needing me to be a Christian, or men needing me to go to church and give up my goals. I'm not gay, but I also am not stuck in the 1950s. The 1950s, as I've said before, is a period where I think we started sliding back to the 1800s. I'm not interested in being, and unfortunately, my parents' generation grew up in the 50s and were inundated with this concept of religion and Puritan perspectives that should have died out a long time ago. I'm not interested in being hunted or in pretending to care about a man, for example, and wanting to be his wife and my life revolving around him. To me, that's narcissism. My life revolves around me. That's not narcissistic. It's not me being shallow. It's me just wanting to be able to feel safe within my own skin and just be myself. And I need to have that if I'm ever going to be with somebody else. I've been told to get a life, but I want a life of my own. I don't want to give up who I am for somebody else. I am who I am, and America has a history of people coming here to be themselves. Granted, we've had dark periods, witch hunts, slavery, but legally those periods are in the past. It worries me that the terrorists may have opened up a door for the hatred of the past to resurface. The Confederate flag, the Confederate beliefs. Do the people, who want to bring back the Confederate perspective really think that anybody in this country wants to go back to being a slave, to being owned? I actually have an idea about that, and you just reminded me I'm going to talk about that in a different episode about basketball and football. Because I realized tonight there's the whole kneeling issue has an underpinning that's really dark, and we need to get away from it. I have a book suggestion, by the way. America's Midlife Crisis. I met the author, Gary Weaver. He's an alumni from American University, at an event here in Los Angeles. He actually signed the book to me, and I think we knew each other. I believe we met before. To Laura, great seeing you in LA. Gary Weaver. Yeah, because I was a graduate student council at American University for 2 years in a row. I was involved in the politics of American University, but I was also known as being an actor and being someone who's very interested in droit morale, the rights of artists. I wrote papers on censorship, free press. And I studied art law and communication law, and studied how to run a theater, how to run an arts organization, and being a TV film actress and casting. I wanted to work in the entertainment industry and work, because to me the First Amendment and free speech is a really bedrock foundation of this country. The First Amendment not only includes the concept of free speech, but free expression. I have the right to be an artist and to have my own perspective on what art is, because of the First Amendment. The First Amendment free speech includes my ability to be able to paint what I want to paint, take a photograph of what I want to take a photograph within, granted, there are rules and laws that govern that, violation of privacy, etc. But I did a paper, again, and I was very much in support of the basic rights exemplified by the Founding Fathers. I do not agree with everything Weaver says per se, and I haven't finished reading it. I think that America needs to be secular to maintain peace and individual rights. He thinks that secularism is here to stay, but there will always be people who believe in a God. I think that eventually we will lose that idea. I don't think that we need a God for people to want to do the right thing or to have faith in themselves. I think that eventually we're going to realize the fact that people just need to do the good thing. There's no need to guilt trip someone or to put a fear of what's going to happen when they die. It's more like you just want to live for now and be the best person you can be now. To quote my poem again, I will not act from fear or vengeance or revenge. I will stand up for my right to be free forever and again. I will respect each individual, for that is who I am. I really think that's what America's about. Being your own person. And I think that some people are distorting that. It's the idea that, well, if I say Merry Christmas and you don't want me saying Merry Christmas, you're violating my rights. I'm thinking, no, You don't say you respect the fact that some people don't want to hear Merry Christmas because they don't practice Merry Christmas. You know, it's kind of shameful for someone to say, you have to say Merry Christmas, but what if I say Happy Hanukkah? Or what if I just say Happy Holidays because I don't want to offend anybody? 9/11 is the past, and we need to move past it. We should not forget, but we need to move past the PTSD and find a way to heal and be the America with respect for individuality. We really do. We need to stop being scared and stop politicizing it. Stop using it as a tool for elections. It should honestly be something that comes from here. And it should we're losing so many people from COVID right now. I think people should be more concerned about that. Concerned for the now. And at the same time, we need to recognize the fact that the people who died at 9/11, America wasn't the only one that lost people. There were, 3,000 people, I think, who died? But only a fraction of that were Americans. It was called the World Trade Center for a reason. There are people all over the world who were hurt by it. It was an act not just against America, but against human dignity. And we need to start realizing the fact, and maybe by doing that, we'll start healing ourselves and to recognize the fact that other people feel the same pain. Get back in touch with here, our heart. Yeah. Peace. Have a good night. This is Cognition.